I was actually thinking about something that I've always grew up with. And when I was a child, I always wanted to own my own theme park, like Disneyland and Magic Mountain. And my theme park was going to be a combination of, damn, that's a loud bird. That's a loud ass bird. My theme park was going to be a combination of Disneyland and Magic Mountain, where you got scary rides with the added, animatronics and fantasy and music and a bunch of other stuff. Make it more fun and make it like a resort hotel or like a resort as well, where it's not just a theme park, but it's a bunch of things to do. It's a place where you can just let go, basically. But probably copying off of Disney a little bit, right? Well, this theme park, I had a lot of ideas of how I wanted to run it. It's wide open. Anybody can walk on in. Keep in mind that the theme park won't be located around any communities or cities. It was going to be pretty far out. How you get to the theme park is you ride a commuter train. And looking at Metrolink in LA or the Sound Transit commuter train, they'll be using something like that to bring people from the city out to the theme park. Looking at Stradler, which is our commuter train here in Austin, Texas, the one that I ride to work every day, I'll probably use that instead because it's a lot more compact, it's smaller, and it still has the same gauge as the regular freight, so it can ride on regular freights. And we'll just contract it. So I thought about that. It's like, we'll contract out with local freights. We do some of the tracking so it's a little bit smoother. And people would catch a train from 2 or 3 stops in a major city, get on the train, and the train will be decorated with the theme park colors and, just pretty cartoon characters. And while people are on the train, they will be entertained with characters while they're riding to the theme park, which will be an interesting ride, Another way to get to the park is that the whole entire park, and this is something I thought about when I was a child, it was kind of like a Masdar situation. And if you're not familiar with Masdar, just do a search on the internet. Masdar is a city where there are no cars anywhere nearby. You have to park outside the city and then catch a, what do you call those? Personal rapid transit, which is the pod cars, the ones that's running in at Masdar, as well as the cars that are running at the London airport. They also have a similar setup in the West Virginia University. It's a group rapid transit, the one that's at WVU. Well, I didn't exactly think about that, but I was thinking like providing mass transit, like trains to travel throughout the park. So you have all this land that's the size of Disney World, which is the size of Manhattan, and you have a bunch of trains running up and down in different locations. But you also got trolley cars, monorails, buses, just a wide variety of ways for people to get around the theme park. But every vehicle is, of course, economically inefficient and runs off electricity. There's no fuel whatsoever. Now, you do need service roads. Service roads are there for trucks to bring in supplies. So that's the only use for that. So the only fuel, diesel, will be large trucks and, of course, service vehicles. Excuse me. I keep saying surface. I'm thinking about the damn computer. Service vehicles that will be allowed to travel to different locations in the park to fix stuff. You need stuff like that. You need to have that. Plus, there may be construction going on, so you need those construction vehicles to build it into the park at various locations. So you have service roads. But outside of that, there are no other vehicles allowed inside the park at all, even employees. Now, for employees, they will be allowed to catch the rapid transit throughout the park and at the time. So that'll be something that'll be interesting for that. So I thought about this, and it's like a theme park where there are no cars or any type of transportation outside of what's provided by the theme park itself. Transportation is free. Anybody can walk in the theme park because there are other stuff going on like shows and events. Anybody can just go into the park like a shopping mall, shopping center, and enjoy the entertainment that's provided for free. That's on the streets, pretty much. But if you want to see any shows, you have to pay for it. If you went to the park just to ride one ride, let's say a new ride that we invented, but this guy's like, okay, I don't feel like spending a whole day, but he will be able to pay for that one ride. But here's the idea that I came up with. You wear transponder on your wrist. And the transponders are the same things that you see in those cars when you ride on an expressway or a toll road. You get one of those types of transponders, but it's a wristband. The wristband will be color-coded to determine a person's age. So, for instance, a child will be like a bluish color. A teenager, so it'll be age groups, depending on age appropriateness, because some rides won't be, available for everybody. And you'll size the child up at the check stand, where they buy the ticket. If they're tall enough, that the wristband will be from blue to light blue, which will meet the minimum height for all rides. Now, every ride will have a different height requirements, but if that child is tall enough to ride any ride in the theme park, that wristband turns a light blue. Then you have maybe, I'm just off the top of my head, green for teenagers, and then if you're 17 and above, you'll have a brown color wristband. And if you're 21 and above, you have a black wristband, or yellow, let's say yellow. And so everybody will have these specific colors that they wear, so that it can right away be determined if a drink should be served to a 21 and above. If they go into a store and try to buy cigarettes, well, they have to be 18 years old, to buy cigarettes. So, and then their wristband will determine that. Now, here's something else too. In the transponder information will be a small chip that's activated when on request, like an NFC, and that information will store payment information. Now, the information is not necessarily stored in the NFC chip. The NFC chip will just store a bunch of numbers and letters, like a hexadecimal code. It's going to be encrypted. The only thing that could decipher it are the registers. So you go to a register, it reads the code, then it pulls up an account. So you actually set up an account with my theme park. Now, on that account, you can do several different things. You can, let's say you only want to spend $100. So you can give $100 cash to the cashier. Probably different cashiers located throughout the park with ATM machines, debit cards and credit card machines and all that at the cashier. You can give $100 cash, and then you can disperse the money to your children. And there are two ways to do that. You got 3 kids. You can give each of them $20, or you can say $50 for all your children, and then everybody will share the $50. So it's like a shared $50 plan, or however you want to do it. You can go online and make adjustments. So there will be computers throughout the park. They log in with their wristband, and then the parents will be able to adjust everybody's account accordingly. for school trips, it'll be the same way. School trips, the whoever is in charge, teachers and so forth, will be allowed to, the parents give them, let's say the parents give them like, $30. Then that child can put $30 into their account, and that child will have $30 to play with all day. What this does is that this alleviates you having to carry a wallet with you all day. Your account, your identification is also located on that wristband as well. So, to be identified and to read your ID information will be on that card. So, any adult coming to the theme park will have to have either a driver license or a passport or some type of state ID, to identify them with. The user is allowed to add more information upon request. Now, this is usually for somebody who wants to spend a whole day at the park. So for someone who wants to only enjoy maybe one ride and a show, they would just simply get a ticket. Just like if you just went to a show, you just get a ticket to ride in. So see where I'm getting at here? We're talking about a totally technologically advanced theme park with all the trimmings that's going to allow people to leave their wallets at home or in the hotel room. In the hotel room, each of them will have a safe to lock up their IDs and credit cards and stuff like that. So they'll be able to safely store everything so that they don't have to worry about losing their wallet or anything, because everything is stored on the wristband. All right, I'm at the DQ now. Let me go ahead and turn this off.